Last time also when I had the interaction with my students, so there were 4 or 5 people, and we also talked about some of the topics or some of the points which are like quite tricky for us, but they are not actually. Harjeet is not able to hear. Harjeet, okay.
मैं क्लास ले रही हूँ.
Shishti, can you please mute your mic and please come on the screen. Okay, so I was just advising Harjeet to connect her audio. Reshmi and Shishti, please be visible on the screen as these are interactive sessions. Your camera off doesn't look good. Shishti, sing. Are you able to hear me? Come on, let's come on the screen. So last time also we talked about some of the problems and some of the random questions which come across, but we do not get people to answer them. So it's a kind of mentoring, a kind of interaction, a counseling interaction. It would be not talking about soft skills, or it won't be talking about grammar right now, as we have this different sessions or different classes on Saturday, Sunday. These are interacting sessions, which you can call as mentoring session. So you are welcome to talk about your issues or your problems, whether it is a language problem, personality issues that you feel you have in you, and you are facing some challenges because of that. You can also even ask some of the career related questions. So whatever is possible, I'll try to answer, and I'll look for some better opinions. So if you have any question, we can start and we can begin with the interaction. There is no question? Okay, let me just ask then. Do you find any problem related to your speech, especially when you speak in English? So what is the most, you can say, irritating, I may say, or maybe I can say most demotivating issue when you try to interact with people in language, especially English, but you face challenges? Okay, Nikita?
Ma'am, actually, my main issue is like whenever I start to talk, so I got puzzled in how to choose correct word. So while speaking English, I have to choose Hindi. Like if I'm saying something, no, just do like this and then अच्छा तो फिर ये ठीक है. Like I just switch the language. So this is my biggest issue and like this biggest problem because I do not have that much knowledge of vocabularies.
Okay, okay, I understand. Also, there are two things which we need to always take care, Nikita, especially when you're speaking in language, whether you speak Hindi or English. There is one and very important and simple thing. That is, you use always present simple. You don't use any other sentences when especially you talk about your problems, which are often, coming across, maybe your daily issues, or maybe something which you feel monthly or yearly whenever any situation comes. So here why I'm saying it, when you speak about I got puzzled, so it's more about I get puzzled. Okay, so whenever I talk in English, I get puzzled that what vocabulary should I use. So this is first advice I would give, that always be focused with your simple present tense. Okay, especially when you are talking about your issues which are regularly, monthly, yearly, or maybe daily or occasionally. You speak in past sentence very less, maybe 15 to 20%. You must remember when you talk about yourself, you always talk about simple present. What I'm doing, what I want to do, what I'm studying, what I am facing the challenges. Past, we speak you can say not randomly, we speak rarely. Or the rest of the tense is about conditional one, which we use if. I'm also planning to, have a session with this lesson, talking with condition if and when. I have given some of the advice last time when I was teaching my students. So I have given, some of the requirement or the norms of the conditional. Now, coming back to your question, Nikita, uh, the one and very important thing which we need to focus, that as you have understood, that vocabulary is your issue, or vocabulary is something which you feel is like puzzling you, like you are not able to understand what I should do or what I should avoid. For that, I would like to ask, do you read? Like, being honest.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No.
Uh, do you listen some English speakers?
Podcast. Recently, I have started to listen
Recently
podcast.
just started. Okay. Then again, do you try to write in English? Maybe on WhatsApp you talk to people, or maybe whenever you.
Very rare, ma'am. Very rare. Rarely I.
Okay. So do you find that reading is boring sometimes?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, like actually, ma'am, I didn't get that much time of reading because reading is kind of meditation, as I know, because it takes time to understand things, to analyze. So I think it's kind of meditation. So I don't have that much time to take a book and have a set proper corner, and I have to choose the words. Okay, okay, okay. It happens in that story. So yes, ma'am. It's kind of boring.
I
But
understand that.
recently, I have recited the poems because I'm teaching my son. So in that case, yes, reciting the poem and reading the poem, it can be a part of reading. But for novel or knowledgeable books, I don't.
Okay. See, again, don't mind. It's more of giving excuse when you don't want something. Because I have seen working women studying, even they are traveling, they are, reaching their offices, or they are coming back, or even late night. Like, let's take the example, they are, hitting the sack now, like it's time to, sleep, but still they pick their book and read for 5 minutes. It's about the passion of some people. I understand. But again, when something we want, we need to put little extra efforts. So I would suggest you one thing. It's the first and very important thing. Find your interest. Something which you literally like, or something which attracts you the most. Maybe you are the mother who loves to talk more about upbringing, parenting, or maybe talking about the health of children. Again, as per your interest, and then pick the book. Because when you pick the book with your interest, I'm damn sure you would love it and you will be more interacting. You will forget about that. Are you studying something? You will be enjoying more of reading. And especially why I'm suggesting you to reading, just because when you read, you are experiencing a lot of things while reading. There are vocabulary which are coming across. And again, there are two advices. Please keep in your reading time. It is for everybody. Whenever you read, avoid tackling the vocabulary and going to your Google and searching. Don't do that. Okay. This happens with every Indian people, or every Indian person, I would say. We get, random vocabulary and we find that, oh, I don't know that. Then we shut the book and we start finding out the vocabulary. And then again, we don't get that interest to continue. So the first and very important thing, stop figuring out the meaning of the vocabulary. Keep the vocabulary in your parking plot. Okay. You may keep a notebook with you, write down the vocabulary, keep it aside. Stop searching then and there. Okay. Now, why I'm saying it, it will not make you lose your interest when you are especially reading. And once you have read it and you are now having, do not be, having a lot of vocabulary of a day. Pick 5. Even though you have found 10 to 20 vocabulary that you read, or you read about, but you don't know. but please target only 5 vocabulary. Okay, 4 vocabulary, 3 vocabulary, whatever seems good to you. So one advice which I have done it personally, pick that vocabulary and keep writing down. Keep writing down, keep writing down, keep writing down. This is called psychology. The more you write any vocabulary, the better it reminds your brain, or your brain is practicing that in your itself. So whenever you come across with any circumstances as Nikita talk about, your brain will be able to pick that vocabulary easily, and you'll say, oh wow, I was able to use that. So this is a practice which you can do. Again, do not have a lot of burden on yourself talking about 5-10 vocabulary. Whatever seems good to you. 3, 4, 5, 2, or even one of the day. And keep talking to the person like you have a kid. Keep talking to your person in that vocabulary. So there is nobody who is going to judge. Now, meanwhile, you are reading, you will be saying, ma'am, if I read and I don't understand the situation, create this assumption, because we are very good at creating assumption. So when I'm reading a line, there is a vocabulary coming, I can still understand the situation-based understanding of that vocabulary. So assume the vocabulary meaning, not being 100% sure, but keep reading. So I think these two advice I feel Nikita can help you. And please start doing it today. Today is Monday. I would like to see the update by Saturday when we'll meet as our casual training. So I'll literally want you to be honest and coming up, even if you learn 3 vocabulary of this week or 5 vocabulary of this week, I'll be glad. But please try to put, again, find out the interest, whatever seem interacting for you or tempting or maybe tempting, maybe a child book, or maybe a book of love story, or maybe a book of being, women. Like recently I have picked the book which is about it's all about women. Harjeet, could you please mute your mic? So find your interest and pick. Okay, let's try this in this week.
Sure, surely, ma'am.
I would ask you, don't purchase it. Things are available online. PDF, anything, keep it with you.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Fine. Thank you so much, Nikita, for the question. I hope I could ask you. Oh, sorry, I could answer you. Okay.
Yes, definitely, ma'am.
Next, anybody? Reshmi, Adiba, or Harjeet? Any question?
Ma'am, actually, I have also same problem.
Okay. Apart from this, if you have any other issue or challenge, you can also talk about some of the personal issues related to career or maybe personalities which you are coming across.
Ma'am, I have a confidence problem.
Competency in order. Are you preparing any exam or cracking the exam for?
Talking to people.
Talking to people.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it about interacting with people in any language or only in English?
Ma'am, actually, I'm less talker people, so I can't talk too much to other people.
That's not an issue, I feel. That's a personality which people have.
She said, ma'am, she has a confidence issue. Confidence.
Confidence issue, or do you find yourself a lot less talkative personality? Or do you see yourself introvert? I hope you know the meaning of introvert and extrovert.
Yes, ma'am.
So see, Reshmi, if it is your personality that you are an introvert, absolutely fine. No problem. Because that's your personality and that's not at all wrong anywhere. But when you see that you want to talk, but you have no confidence, maybe less confidence, then that can be the issue. So tell me, which is the one?
Ma'am, second one, confidence.
Confidence. Okay. So understand one thing very on the top of, or maybe I would like to ask any one of the member in the meeting if they can advise, then I can continue. I think Nikita can try. Nikita or Adiba? So she has a problem of confidence in speaking with people or among people. Nikita is very much confident personality. I have, seen in my students. She can
But I
even
don't have that much confidence to advise someone else how to gain confidence.
no, no,
But I have
yes,
one thing which I can suggest is that be social. It is like most important. Doesn't matter that you have 2000 Facebook friends or Instagram followers, but if you have like only one friend where you can be where you can be yourself.
very
Try
nice.
to sit in mohallas, aunties.
No, no, don't dare to do that, Reshmi.
There you will become sharp minded and sharp tongue. What we can say, ma'am, what we say that like who has very sharp tongue?
Has very
Sharp tongue. Like see, एक होता है ना like where we compare her tongue with Caesar.
okay. So basically, these are Hindi, idioms or
Slang. Yes.
slangs, or you can say phrases. But of course, we can say these people are like extrovert, or sometimes the negative extrovert personalities.
Yes, negative extrovert.
Those
Yes.
who do not, think about others' feeling at all. Then this personality is
Judges.
not.
They are mohallas judges. Colonies judges.
That's okay with them. Again, these are the personality or maybe the environment of our country where people are so much entertaining themselves to talk about third person who's not there in their group, especially. Fine. Coming to the point of Reshmi that she struggles with, communicating with people. So again, Reshmi, talking productive and valuable things are the most important thing. You do not need to talk just because of the communication unnecessary things, because again you will be looking like a personality who's beating around the bush all the time, or jumping into the conversation which is not clear to them, or maybe something which you feel that you are just trying to talk, and that talk is also not valuable because of doing these things. When you talk irrelevant thing unnecessarily or speak anything, this is also one of the reasons of people's personality which gets ruined by them. Because when you have this practice, people will not give at all the attention to you in future. So when it comes to interacting with people with confidence, always find out, do I literally have to interfere? Is it something I can advise? Is it something that I need to, be into? Let's take the example, you are in the lecture, or maybe you are sitting in a discussion at your office, or maybe in your college, where your teacher, professor, or boss, or maybe a person in your training department is interacting and talking. Now, keeping yourself a closed book won't be helping you out. That time you must talk. And that is the time where you can create your rapport among people. Because when you speak there and you try to speak valuable things, people would love to listen to you. So, and again, there are people who even speak unnecessarily certain things during such things. Then they become the person who is not being listened all the time. So be mindful when you are speaking. Figure out that where you can speak and put your attention and your opinion in better ways. But always be the star among people, where even you speak one line, interfere, participate, speak, share. You do not need to speak all the time. You need to speak once, but speak value. Okay. So try this practice, especially in your classroom, wherever you study. Okay. Do not be surrounded only with your friends you are sitting with. It happens with very, I would say every second person it happens that people are very much comfortable with their own group. So I have a group of 5 people. I love to talk with them, only interact. The moment 6 person comes into the group, I get separated. I get silent, or maybe I get to not to talk. So it's better to continue. Sometimes you go and talk to people. Maybe you talk about the points of your study, dates of your exam, or talking to the person about XYZ issue, and continue the things which you can, advise. Okay, Rashmi, try this time. Do you study somewhere? Means, do you have regularly meeting with people or interacting?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you
Every
have,
time.
so you were saying that you are studying.
Yes, ma'am. I have online classes.
Very good. Then also we have a time to interact there. If there is online classes, if you are not allowed to talk, like sometimes teacher don't allow you to talk or interfere in the interaction time, you keep writing in chat box, keep asking question, keep appraising people in chat box. Like I read something, I like Nikita's point, I like Adiba's point, so I'm appreciating them. Very nice point, Adiba. Very well written, Nikita. This is also one of the interactions. Okay, so try this practice. If not verbally, then in written. Okay, whatever I'm trying to advise you, everybody, let's figure it out in this week and give me the update. If there is any 1% improvement, I'll be glad to listen. Okay, but please try. Do not just keep these advices in your bucket and keep that bucket aside. Okay, thanks, both of you. Adiba, she was raising her hand.
Thank you.
Yes, Adiba.
Ma'am, same
Hello,
problem which I
ma'am.
was.
Okay, hold on.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, Harjeet. Yes, Harjeet, speak.
Hello. Can I say any, can we have something, ma'am?
Yes, please share.
Hello.
I can listen to you, Harjeet.
Ma'am, I don't understand, but yeah, ma'am. My phone is not working. That's why I'm not understand something. Ma'am, what is timing in class?
So this is not class, Harjeet. This is
Hello.
the mentoring session. Yes, I can hear you, Harjeet. I think you are facing internet.
Okay, okay, ma'am.
So if you
Yeah,
have,
ma'am. I
keep
think
your
network
camera off.
issue.
Yes, you can keep your camera off. Wear earphone or Bluetooth.
Okay.
App. Don't speak if you cannot. You can write your question in chat box. That, ma'am, my one of the challenges these days is this. My challenge of
Okay, 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 ma'am.
or language or anything. Okay, fine. Yes, coming back to Adiba.
Okay, ma'am.
She's traveling. Yes, Adiba.
Yes, ma'am, I was saying that like we have vocabulary problems and all these problems. So
Could you
I know we
please
can
speak a
fix.
little loud?
Okay. So as we all have vocabulary problems and other problems, so I know we can fix all these problems by searching and by doing hard work, as you suggest us. But some of the problems I'm like facing, uh, which is I told you yesterday also while teaching and some of grammar. These are the problems where I'm lacking. So I'm sorry for the noise.
Okay, it's okay.
And one thing I'm like finding that I haven't take any English speaking class or something like this. I just did the the in my tuition we all must have taught those tenses, modals, and all those things. So by that and by my hard work only, so uh, I have learned this much part which I'm speaking here. And is after that how I will improve myself, I don't know. And one more thing I'm struggling with is fluency. Once I'm in the flow, so I can speak much better. But nowadays, as like I'm at home, basically, I'm not speaking anyone, and so I'm struggling with the fluency also.
Let's
So
not.
that my question is that should I join any English speaking class or not? Will it be helpful for me?
Oh, okay, fine. Very good question. Again, Adiba, whether you talk about English classes joining or coming to this class or coming to any class, there is one and very important thing which which you need to be there, which you need to have there. That is your participation.
Yeah.
That is your interest, and that's your call. Because whenever you talk about any class, let's take the example. You feel, because this is also human tendency. When we get, any anything in return, we love to pay and then we value only. What I mean to say that when I want to get study and I'm paying there, I'll feel that I'm gaining. But again, that gaining will not be so long and lasting until and unless I am practicing.
Yes.
So the
Ma'am,
smart
as a
person,
yeah, ma'am, as a teacher, I know this. What you are saying, I'm totally understanding. But my point is environment. I need from the very beginning. I'm uh, I'm thinking that I need that environment, that particular environment, which is very important to learn any language.
I understand. And I think last time also I advised you doing the same, that you can record yourself.
Yeah.
Recording yourself, listening to yourself, and then giving star or points to yourself will be far better. Okay. Or the very important thing which you can do is this session, group interaction here, talking to people here and figuring out, your loop gaps related to your language can be very much helpful and productive. I understand that environment is needed, but again, we need to create the environment too.
Yeah.
Now, I have a choice right now also to speak in Hindi, because I don't have anyone who can, who can norm me and tell me that no, only English. But again, I'm creating the environment. I'm creating the environment not only for me, but for my people who are coming to interact here. So we create the environment. Environment is not created itself. So you need to create the environment. Maybe you talk to your family members. And if you find that people are not there who you can interact, then your group is there. I feel like there are 30 plus students, but not everybody is as interested as some of you are showing your interest. But that's not the issue. The point is this: we need to create the environment. So we need to share things. Now, coming back to the point of fluency, Adiba, fluency comes with the participation, with interaction, and with communication. This can happen, of course, wherever you are and whosoever you interact with. As you are talking about that, you teach. So maybe there are people who you can interact with in English, but again, not everybody knows English, or not everybody is aware of the language. So talking in front of them will not be like helpful. The reason being, maybe the person can feel inferior. Okay.
Actually, I would like to share one of my experience. As ma'am, English is my favorite subject, and I really like to gain attention while speaking English. So I joined one Instagram page, Speak with Subhash. I think you must have seen the reels. How was your experience for last 5 days? The person asked to the ladies. He's very popular. So I just took a 5 days session by him. So it was paid session, 100 rupees paid session. So he was manipulating all of the students, because I'm in sales department. So I know that what he was doing. So he told us about neuroscience. He told us about like fluency, everything. But in the class, he didn't taught anything. So I just like took my step back. I'm free. I'm happy because I am not gonna take more admission, because the package was 7,000, 11,000. Like it is not more expensive, but ma'am, the knowledge which we are getting here or in the FEA or normal spoken courses, he was not providing us. As he was very famous, so it was like this.
Agree. This happens with people. They make their, their skills being paid only, not being productive. So again, as Nikita has shared the experience, this has happened with many students of mine. They spend a lot of money, but production was not equal to the point or remarkable that students are expecting. So whether it's Adiba, it's Tanishka, or anybody of you, it happens with people that they feel to gain more, and sometimes they feel maybe paying or getting any tuition classes or regular classes somewhere can be helpful. But again, as I mentioned, environment is being created by us. It's not created itself. So you create the environment wherever you feel that you can interact with people. If people are not available, I'm enough for me. So I can interact with myself. I can talk to myself. I can keep, the things recorded. I can, because when you record and then you listen, you are a better listener than a better speaker. Do you know that? I have never underestimated my students even as a listener. The reason is that listeners are better than speakers, because sometimes it happens that listener can tell and judge you better. So whenever I had any interaction with my students or people who are coming in my training department, training rooms, so I have always given the value the trainees as the listener, because they can tell, they can judge. They are very good at judging. You people are very good at judging. And judging is not in order to talk. Judging is not a negative sense I'm talking about. Judging is mean, it's like getting the experience and comparing. Like Nikita spoke, she went to the paid service, but couldn't find as productive interaction or productive knowledge as she feels here. So that's a kind of comparison. So you compare yourself better when you listen more than when you speak. So Adiba or whoever you feel, record yourself, figure out the things which you feel that is not coming or not there in your audio. Keep that thing in next time. Then listen, keep the next thing in that time. Right now, this is the advice which I can give the person who feels that I don't have anybody who I can interact. Okay. And our brain is having all the time a lot of thoughts. You must have, everybody. I do have. So whenever I decide something for you, these are the things which come across in my mind. So I thought about this mentoring session because I keep thinking about the things that what I can give my students, what I can do better, what are the things I can, help with. Now it's not about you only, but me also. Because these days I am studying, and somewhere studying and studying makes you little, boring also. Or sometimes you feel that you are not doing anything else. So I found out this thing that I can do this with my channel plus with my students. So my students can be, given some of the knowledge as they need as and when